apple cranberry crisp recipe. So easy this holiday. Let me show you how. Hello, my name is Jersey. Welcome to my channel. Let's get started. I'm going to light my chambers oven. I'm going to put it at 450 degrees. When it reaches temperature, I'm going to put the apple cranberry crisp in for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to shut the power off and let it cook on retained heat for 30 minutes. If you have a conventional oven, it'll be 40 minutes, 350 degrees in a convention oven. It'll be in the recipe down below. I'm going to let it reach temperature, and let's go make all the ingredients, and by the time we get done, this should be in the right temperature. I'm going to show you how I wash my cranberries. When I get them home, I take them out of a bag and I put them immediately in a wet jar. For this recipe, you'll need a 12-ounce bag, which is 3 cups or 340 grams. I put my cranberries in here. I add cold water till the water is over the cranberries. I put my bar of veggie soap under the water just for a few seconds. And I just give them a swirl. Drain the cranberries and rinse well with water. Fill it up again, rinse it. Again, I just give them a twirl. The water ran clear, so now I'm gonna spin them. And then I'm going to proceed and use the veggie soap and a brush and wash all the apples before we peel them. Let me save your time. I'll get all the apples ready. And here I have my butter melted from the pilot on my chamber stove. If you don't have one, then you can use your microwave or another method of melting your butter for this recipe. For this recipe, you need 4 cups of peeled sliced apples, which is about 35 ounces or 992 grams. 12-ounce bag of fresh cranberries, which is 3 cups or 340 grams, washed, spun dry. 1 cup of organic cane sugar or 200 grams. Half a cup of packed brown sugar or 110 grams. Half a cup of unbleached all-purpose flour or 62 grams. 1 teaspoon organic cinnamon. Half a teaspoon grated nutmeg. 1 cup of rolled oats, not the quick oats, 81 grams. And half a cup of melted butter, 1 stick or 110 grams. This is a very easy dump and go recipe. You do not have to weigh all this out into separate bowls. I did this so I can show you. All the crumble or crisp mix gets done in one bowl. You just keep adding the ingredients down the list in order and just add them to another bowl. I like to add my cranberries first, just a preference. Then I add my apples. You can do this in a longer pan, which I have done many times, but I like using this little round pan because it has the lid for it and I don't have to put a cover on it, and I don't use plastic. I'm gonna set this aside. I've already checked. My chamber stove is at 450 degrees. If you're using a convention oven, make sure it's set at 350 degrees and it has reached temperature. What I normally do is set this right on the scale, and I go right down my list and I start adding everything. So I would add my sugar, I would tare the scale. Then I add my brown sugar and I would tare the scale. Unbleached flour, teaspoon of cinnamon, or more, I love more. Half a teaspoon of grated nutmeg, I don't measure. I usually give this a mix. I do this a lot with my hands. I just find it so much easier. You add your melted butter. I drizzle about half, give it a mix. Try to get the dry ingredients from the bottom up on top, like that. Add a little bit more. Now with this recipe, you can add a lot more cranberries and a lot more apples. Just know that if you use a very long pan, all your crumble might not get evenly across all the top. That's why I like using the little round pan, because every square inch on top will have crisp crumble. This is a quick and easy dessert. If you like cranberries, check out up there. I just did a cranberry bourbon sauce, and I also have cranberry apple jelly. Check my playlist. I'll leave it above and down below for my food from scratch playlist. This goes so great with homemade vanilla ice cream. Yes, that's on the playlist too. Check that one out. I make it with raw milk. Now see how wet that is? That's what you want. You don't want to see any powder. At this point, I like to use my hands. Get all that powder from the bottom. All right, now comes the easy part. You could put your apples on the bottom and your cranberries on top, vice versa, or mix them. It doesn't really matter. Now I just crumble it as I go. Grab a handful. And I try not to go over the same spot twice. I'm going to bake this with my lid on the pan. I don't like it super crispy and crunchy. Now, if you're baking this in a chambers oven, it's at 450 degrees. You'll put it in, you'll shut the door, put your timer on 15 minutes, then you'll turn the gas off. You're gonna cook in retained heat. Gas off, don't open the door for 30 minutes. If you're using a convention oven, it's 350 degrees, between 30 and 40 minutes. If you want to reheat it, if not, it's very crunchy. I like to heat it in the microwave, about 15-20 seconds. And there you have it. This is why I like using this type of pan. Every ounce gets it. If you use the 9x13, you might not get all the top covered. I prefer it this way. I'm gonna put it in the oven and set my timer for 15 minutes. Shut the oven off, set my timer for 30. And if I want to crisp up the top, I will just take the lid off for about 10 minutes. And if you're in a convection oven, you don't have to put the lid on it, but I usually do half on, half off when I'm baking in a convection oven. And there you have it. That is super easy. When this gets done, we'll be back. 450 degrees, awesome. 30 minutes ago, it's still holding at 375. And that is perfect. Once it cools down, it will become more crispy and crunchy, but that's the way we really like it. Otherwise, it gets too watery. It is about 2 hours later. I let it cool and then I put the top on it. As you can see, it's very crunchy. That's why I didn't leave the top on while I was baking. Right now, it's very crunchy. And if I would have left the top off, it would have been like granola, and I don't care for that. See how beautiful that is? And it's not really soupy. I'll take a spoon and I'll take this extra cranberry juice and I'll put it on top of the ice cream. Let me dish the bowls up. I'll put some ice cream on and then I'll show you the final product. And there you have it, a simple recipe, apple cranberry crisp. Serve it with ice cream. And thank you for joining us today. My name is Jersey. Please hit that subscribe, bell, all notification, and see you on the next video.